Now listen, I'm frugal. I admit it, okay? I drive a 19-year-old car and I don't care about designer clothes. I don't wear jewelry or anything flashy, okay? But even I have to admit that there are certain things that are absolutely worth spending more money on. On this video, I'm gonna give you 9 things that are totally worth the money. Let's get right into it. The first one is your health. What I mean by your health is a gym membership, some good walking shoes, making sure that you're going to your doctor on a regular basis and doing your checkups and taking your supplements and getting your therapy, mental therapy, physical therapy, whatever it is. If you got sleep apnea, you got a sleep apnea machine, right? Eat nutritious food. Look, me personally, I'm paying for organic food and healthy stuff. I shop at natural grocers and I buy groceries at Whole Foods and farmers markets because I realize that the older I get, the more my health affects everything else I do. And I had to get older before I really realized that. My energy, my mood, my mental health, my relationships, my ability to put in the work here on YouTube or wherever I go to work, right? My overall quality of life matters. And my health is what fuels that quality of life. So I'm willing to spend money on my health. A lot of people will spend $700 a month on a car note, but then talk about how expensive healthy food is, or that they can't afford quality walking shoes. They can't spend $200 or $300 on some walking shoes, but they can spend a whole bunch of money on other stuff. That makes, in my opinion, no sense, because sometimes we underestimate how important our health is. But look, if you can prioritize a car or the concert or vacation, then you can probably do a little splurging on your health, right? I don't splurge on much of nothing, but I'm willing to splurge on the right foods to eat, right? Read my labels and pay attention to ingredients. Me personally, I care more about what I put in my body now than ever before, right? 20, 30 years ago, I really wasn't thinking like that. I was eating okay and taking care of my body and going to the gym, but I wasn't really focused on it the way I am right now. Because at some point, guys, to be honest with you, you just realize that if your health goes down, everything else in your whole life gets harder to do, physically and mentally. Now, let's go to number 2. The second thing that is totally worth your money that I splurge on is simply any type of convenience that can help buy back my time. Now, let me explain this one. I'm saying you don't have to do everything all by yourself. You don't have to do everything by yourself. Maybe it's lawn care, household maintenance and repairs, right? I've seen some people that they want to do everything themselves to save a few dollars, right? Maybe you don't want to prep all your meals, so you want to purchase a meal prep, right, company that comes in and prep your meals for you. Listen, the key here is whatever works for you. For some of you, it may be, hey, I need a nanny because I don't have the time. Some of you may say, I need ready-to-go meals for a meal prep service. For some of you, it may be paying somebody to handle certain household repairs because your time and energy matter too. But for me, it's all about things that protect my time and energy that I choose. And it's customizable for all of us because some things I choose to protect my time and my energy, you may not choose, right? What is that for you? Is what you got to answer for yourself. Now, me personally, I'd never buy a meal prep service. I would never order food from a local grocery store and then just go pick it up, right? Because I want to see and pick out my own fruit, my own vegetables, and I want to read labels. That matters to me. And for me, I'm not going to ever have a nanny or somebody to clean my house for me. But that's just me. Everybody's not like me. And that's the beauty of personal finance. And it's the fact that everybody is different. And I respect that. I'm not going to beat anybody up for what they choose to splurge on and spend money on to save their time and energy. That's not my thing. It's not my personality. But I'm going to tell you this, you can't splurge on everything. That's a fact. You got to be wise enough and discerning enough to pick and choose how you can save time and energy and make that work in your own budget wisely based on your own situation, because personal finance is personal. What may be a waste of money to me may dramatically improve your quality of life and reduce your stress and save you time or create more balance in your family's life. But for me personally, I'm willing to pay for some conveniences that buys back some of my time that I feel good about, right? So there's some do-it-yourself projects around the house that I'm just not going to do that some people are willing to do. Now, the third thing that is 100% worth it is time with family. Look, when it's all said and done, folks, remember the time you choose to spend with people is what they really remember after you're long gone. Money can't replace quality time with your loved ones. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments below. One of the things that I regret most, me personally, is that I didn't do a lot of big things with my kids as they were growing up, right? But I made up for it in many other areas. I spent a lot of time with them, but it wasn't on the big vacations and more expensive experiences all the time. I didn't do a lot of that. And honestly, sometimes people just want you and your time, and it ain't gotta be really something big like a big vacation, right? Your presence, your attention, your time, those are the things that ultimately matter. As I've gotten older, I've realized more and more that time is the one thing you can never get back. So time with family, as much as you can do it, is 1000% worth it. Now, the fourth one is simply security. Look, we live in a crazy world out here. Let's be real. And yeah, I'm a Second Amendment dude. For real, right? Look that up. You know what I'm talking about. But look, you got teen takeovers. You got mental illnesses everywhere. You got people angry at really insane levels all around you. You can walk into a grocery store. You don't know who's crazy and who's not crazy. Me personally, I'm willing to spend money. No, let me say it differently. I'm willing to spend good money on security and peace of mind. Listen, cameras, good locks, ammo, lighting, home security, cyber security, identity protection, even online. Look, you check the comments in this video and you're going to find bots everywhere trying to get your information, and they're getting slicker and slicker, especially here on YouTube. Protecting yourself, your family, and your information, to me, well worth the money. Guys, quick side note, if you're making decent money but still feel financially disorganized, check out my free webinar and my 4-step financial reset in the description box below. One of the things I love to do is help people build a real financial system around their money. And that's what we do in the free webinar and in the 4-step financial reset. All right, let's get back to the video. And so guys, here's my favorite of this whole list. The fifth thing that's totally worth your money is real estate. Now, a good investment property can produce income for years and years. And I know sometimes real estate gets a bad name, but real estate is a really, really solid investment. Look, I'm willing to spend money on assets that can generate long-term cash flow and appreciation, and real estate does both. Now, that don't mean buying anything. I'm not talking about just buying any old piece of property, right? You still need to buy wisely, especially when it comes to this real estate thing. Run the numbers, understand maintenance, understand tenants, understand how to get tenants, understand location. But real estate done right will completely change you and your family's financial future. You can mark my word on that. Some of the best money that I've ever spent in my life was on real estate. I made my share of mistakes. I've talked about it in a lot of videos, but I'm glad I hung in there and held on to some of my real estate. Don't ever sleep on this one, guys. Now, the sixth thing that's 100% worth your money is just get some professional help sometimes. Again, you ain't got to do it all yourself. Get you a good CPA, get you a good attorney, get you a solid financial planner for specific financial tasks as your wealth grows. Look, you don't DIY everything. You can't do it. You need a team. You don't have the bandwidth. You don't have the expertise. The more wealth you build, the more you begin to turn to, or need to begin to turn to, professionals for their expertise. Not because you're lazy or you can't learn it. I get that. You can learn it, but because you need to understand the value of specialization. People that got special skills to do what you need done. I've seen people try to do everything, be their own attorney, be their own financial planner, got millions of dollars of net worth and trying to do it all. You don't have to. Look, I own rental properties. I want a roofer to put on my roof. I need a plumber to do my plumbing. I want a flooring person to put in my floors. I want specialized people that specialize in the work they do because I want quality. Me personally, I don't have time to do it all or to learn it all. Some people ask me, well, do you do all the work on your rental properties? No, I don't do. Never have done all the work on my rental properties. I don't have the bandwidth to learn everything to do. Now, some things I can do, but some things I just choose to pay the professionals to do what they specialize in doing, right? A good CPA in your life as you grow your money can save you time and money. A good solid attorney can protect you and be a safety net for you. When I formed my LLCs for my rental properties, I didn't go out and try to do an LLC for each one of myself. Some people do. It's not very hard, right? It's a few forms. But I use an attorney. Sometimes, this is what I learned. Sometimes the cheap way out is the wrong way. A good financial professional can help you avoid expensive mistakes, right? That could ultimately cost you tens of thousands of dollars down the road. Sometimes paying for expertise is actually cheaper in the long run because you ain't got to redo it. Now, here's the one that gets forgotten. Let's go to number 7. The 7th thing that's totally worth your money, guys, is estate planning. An estate plan is well worth your money. In fact, an estate plan may be the best $2,000 to $5,000 that you ever spend. Keep your estate and what you own as much out of probate as possible. If structured right, you can do that. A lot of people work hard their entire lives building their assets, but they never properly structure what's going to happen to those assets after they're gone. You need the right will. You need the right trust that's structured properly according to what you need. You need powers of attorney. You need healthcare directives. All these things are inside of a good estate plan. These are the adult conversations that most of you watching this should be having, right? Because it's well worth the money. And whether people want to hear this one or not, this stuff matters. Some people don't like to talk about this type of stuff, right? Estate plans and wills and what happens if you're not here anymore. But it's necessary, especially if you have children, especially if you have property, got retirement accounts, or if you have any level of wealth at all. Look, if you just got $50,000 or $100,000 to your name, you need an estate plan. Now, many of you can relate to this one. Let's go to number 8. The 8th thing that is totally worth the money is quality furniture that you use every day. I'm talking about like a desk chair, a good recliner that you can sit back and relax in, a comfortable couch. Look, cheap furniture ultimately becomes expensive when you got to constantly replace it. If you use something every single day, whether it's a bed or a couch or whatever, quality matters. Comfort matters. Durability matters. Is it going to last or is it going to tear up, right? Sometimes people end up buying the cheapest stuff over and over and over. Instead of just, you could have bought the good quality stuff one time, spend a little extra money, right? Look, there are certain things in life where quality pays for itself over time, point blank. And this is something I think we can all safely agree on. Now let's go to the 9th thing. The 9th thing that is 100% totally worth your money, and I think you're going to agree with me on this one, is peace and quiet. Let me say it again. Peace, quiet, right? Living in a calmer area where you don't have to watch your back every time you pull up to your house, right? I grew up in bad areas, and I'm telling you, it ain't cool to every time you pull up to your home or where you rest your head at night, you got to look around and you got to walk around the side of your house to see what's going on. And you got to be on guard 24/7 just because you stepping out of your car. Because the people down the street are crazy. The people over here, they like to fight. The people over here, they like to fuss and be loud and do different stuff and be crazy. And you don't know what's going on with that third house down, right? You don't want to live in that type of area. It's worth paying a little extra to live in a location where you got some calm and some peace of mind. Maybe where you can come home to a house and you got a home office, you got some private workspace, you got less chaos on the block and in your home. The older I get, guys, the less impressed that I am by noise and constant stimulation. I don't want the constant stimulation. I don't want it. I value peace now. I value calm and rest. I value being able to think clearly and sit on my back porch out here and hear the birds chirping. Everybody is chasing more. But sometimes the real flex in this life is protecting your peace. It's 100% worth it. Those are the 9 things that I personally believe are absolutely 100% worth spending money on. Even as somebody who's naturally pretty frugal like me. Because sometimes, guys, the right purchase in life doesn't just improve your lifestyle, it improves your level of stress. It improves the amount of time you have. It improves your health, your mental health. Maybe it improves your relationships or your long-term financial money and stability with money. Let me know down in the comments, guys, what's something that you think is completely worth the money, whether it's on this list or not. Drop that in the comments below for me. And listen, again, if you're tired of feeling financially disorganized and you want to build a stronger financial foundation, check out my free webinar in the description box below and my 4-step financial reset down there as well. That's where I help people create real structure around their money. Budgeting, paying off debt, bad debt, financial organization, investing, and long-term wealth building. And as always, guys, do me a favor, smash that like button and share this video with somebody who needs to hear this information. Guys, look, take care of people, but be sure to take care of yourself because you're people too. Until the next video, peace.